Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning, Miami Dolphin fan, on this Wednesday. I know a lot of you probably have cold weather around the nation. We're like 60-something degrees here in South Florida, and we feel like it's cool. So I can imagine. My son up in Gainesville just told me it's like 30-something degrees up in Gainesville, 35 degrees. So it's cold up there. And another friend in Jacksonville told me it was in the 30s as well. So this part of South Florida, it's been spared, but overall, it's a cool morning around the nation, it seems like. So good to have you guys all here. I hope you're staying safe if the roads are snowy and icy where you guys live. Seth Jew, Timothy, Washington, Back It Up Ben's podcast. Check out his shows. And Hooked Up Joe, you guys all big fans up to you. Joe, I will hook up. Hopefully Michael K comes into the room. Yes, I know, hoping for a Bills fan, but there is a little bit of a debate on the salary cap between. Hey, good morning, Scotty. Hey, speaking of salary cap, there's a good guy to speak, but Michael K and Hooked Up Joe, we're having a debate on salary cap, I guess, or not debate. I don't know how you would call it, a difference of opinion on how the salary cap works, on as far as if someone retires and stuff like that. From my quick understanding, Joe, is if someone retires, you're still responsible for any of the dead money that would have been like if you just cut them. You're still responsible about that. But if you do it like after June 1st, you can break it into two payments. But I don't know. It's a very elementary standing, but that's more or less how I understand all those numbers. DG live in the house. Another guy you got to check out, guys. He is on here on YouTube and he breaks down videos and stuff like that. Good content over there. Who was the biggest as far as teams or single player, Timothy? Because as far as teams, there's a lot of teams in the running. The Miami Dolphins, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're talking only specifically Miami Dolphins, it was a collective thing in my view. Yes, of course, the head coach and Tua seems to be getting all the ride in the public media circle of social media. But to me, there was a lot of other stuff. No, from my understanding, he does not get paid, but the dead money still counts against the cap, and he would get any. I will go over it, Michael K. But it still goes against the cap. He doesn't get the rest because he's walking away from his salary. So he retires, he doesn't get it. But the dead money counts just as if you cut him, Michael K. That's my understanding of it. So you and Hooked Up Joe, I would bring him in there and let him explain his understanding. I don't know what side either one of you guys are on, but Joe told me you guys had a different. Scotty, let's see what Scotty says. He says the only money he's not accelerated back are those paid in void years. But Scotty, he does not get paid physically. Armstead walks away from the money, but the team is still responsible for some of the money. Is what I think the debate is. But he doesn't get paid. That's it. He retires. He forfeits whatever's owed to him from whatever point he retires. I think that's where the money comes down. Hey, Shake Money, Big Fins Up. Another guy that has a good show on the Fins Tailgate, guys. Check him out. But let's see. If we cut him, well, we cut and retire. That's okay. So I don't know. Are we talking about cut or retire? That's a two different animals right there. If we cut him, yes, we responsible for whatever we owe him as far as all of that stuff. If we cut him post food, okay. Cut Yes, cut and retire though, Joe. I don't know what you guys were talking about, so now I'm confused. Okay, yeah, yeah. Cut and retire are two definitely different things. So, but like, I'm gonna let you guys, Joe or Scotty, if you guys, I'm gonna drop a link in a minute and see what you guys think before give me a couple minutes to get over what I'm going to talk about. But this is what I read as far as dead money, which refers to a salary team has already paid or has committed to paying. So in business term, it's essentially a sunk cost. Any money a team, and this comes off the NFL website. In business terms, is essentially a sunk cost. Any money a team pays a player must be accounted for against the salary cap. If there is dead money in a player's contract and he is released or retires, that charge will accelerate into the team's salary cap for the current year. For example, retired quarterback Tom Brady left behind 35.1 million in dead money on the Buccaneers salary cap due to signing bonus proration spread over 4 void years. There is one avenue to lower the cap hit in a current league year, the June 1st designation. The team can spread the cap hit over 2 seasons by releasing or trading a player after June 1st, but it doesn't talk anything about retirement in that situation. So I don't know if that can still be used in retirement. But so who knows? That's where it goes, guys. So I don't know what you guys were. Let's see. What Joe says. All right. Yes. Okay. So what Joe is trying to say is that at this point, his Armstead contract cutting him and retiring will impact the same. Yes, but I think their debate was like whether the player gets the money. The player does not get the money if he retires. He walks away in the retirement. So that's where I don't know if what Michael K. I don't know what they were arguing about. So I just know they had some. I'm gonna let you guys in here in a minute because I don't even know what your guys' each point was. Both of you are cool, so I don't know what your debate was. If the debate was whether Armstead gets physical money after he retires, no, he does not, other than what was that he's already earned in bonuses and stuff like that. All that future money is he does not get. He doesn't get to go buy the extra mansion. But the team has to still handle all that dead money as if the guy was cut or retired. That I think is maybe we're okay. Well, he if he gets cut, he's due any of the money that he earned as far as bonuses that spread across and stuff like that. From what I read it in there. So, but yes, he doesn't get any more money as of next year. No, that's it. But any of the guaranteed money that was prorated over the year that he hasn't been paid, then he gets. Hey, good morning, Bobby. Finn's Talk of the Finn's Talk Sports Network. Big Finn's up to you. Check out his channel as well. That's why I don't believe Armstead retires. I don't believe he will. Nah, I don't think he's retiring. He was asked that right after a tough playoff loss. His body's still aching, but as the offseason and he heals up, it's going to be hard for him to walk away from that money. I mean, he's probably set for life, and it's different. But still knowing that additional money just for showing up during the season, he's going to get paid it. So yes, because it doesn't make sense for the Dolphins just to cut him at this point. Even with the June 1st destination, which we can get into if you guys want all that salary cap talk, we can get into that. I can go look it up. But this is what I looked up last night as far as Teron Armstead. If you cut him post June 1st, you still take an $11 dead money hit, but you save 9 million basically. So I don't know. And before, but that's post June 1st. Pre June 1st absolutely makes no sense to go away from because you take a did cap hit of 24 million and only get like 3 million in savings. So there's no way they would cut them before June 1st. So that's why I want to bring Hook Up Joe and Michael K in here in a few minutes to see if that's what you guys were arguing about. Yes, it is. Joe, Yes, there's always those dates that players have on their in their contract. If they're on the roster at a certain date, they're guaranteed a roster bonus. So if that's, I take your word in it, Michael K. You probably saw that somewhere. If he gets cut after, he will get. So there's probably a roster benefit date that hits March 16th. So those happen all the time. So that's what you know. Yes, that's the thing, Scotty. That we all know for the most part, but yeah, it's difficult to explain. But yes, the post June just spreads it over 2 seasons. Doesn't make it go away. Makes it less painful 1 year, but spreads the pain over 2 years. So some people just like rip the band-aid off, take the hit 1 year. Just depends where your salary cap is and your rebuilding process and stuff like that. In this case, we would probably have to do the band-aid approach and just have it go over 2 years. No, I understand, Joe. I'm going to put you on here, Joe, so you can explain. But before I do that, let me get into the teams that are still left here playing. So we got the Texans at the Ravens, Packers at the 49ers, Buccaneers at the Lions, and Chiefs at the Bills. Is there a, all those quarterbacks are really good outside of maybe the 49ers and the Packers probably have the two kind of question still, maybe because Jordan Love hasn't. I don't know. Who knows really? Because you got C.J. Stroud with the Texans, who's played extremely well for a rookie. Lamar Jackson, who's probably going to be the league MVP. Then you got Jordan Love, who balled out the last half of the season stat wise, and then went in there and beat Dallas. Then you get Brock Purdy, who's I think just more of a, I know people don't like the term game manager because that 49er offense seems to roll with a lot of guys at the helm. Then you got Baker Mayfield as Tampa's quarterback that could have been had by any team after last season. Tampa picked him up. He ends up being the starter, and now, lo and behold, they beat the Eagles. Yes, the Eagles were falling apart towards the end of the season. I wish we would have got that version of the Eagles on our schedule later in the season instead of the version of the Eagles we got. Then you got Goff of the Lions, who was also another. Both of those are guys top picks of the draft type players back in the day. And then Goff hasn't won the big game, but he's been in a Super Bowl, and now he's advanced with the Lions, which turns out that's been a good trade for both the Rams and the Lions. The Lions are still winning with the throw in of Goff, plus all those extra picks that they accumulated. So they've done well on that aspect. And now they have a chance to win it all, just like anyone else that's still left. And then obviously you get Mahomes at Josh Allen. And now both of those quarterbacks are way up there. So because I know everyone always says it's a quarterback league, and it kind of justifies it. Maybe you could say the Packers and 49ers aren't so quarterback up, but the Packers, Jordan Love has played well this year. So it just shows that there are some differences. We would be What's he wrong about, Mike? I'm going to put you guys in here. Remember, keep it nice, though. Hey, Lance, be safe out there on the road. Big fins up to you. So, also guarantee that sign in total guarantee when impact retirement calculations when the G money actually kicks in is a huge impact. So, I agree. But yeah, and there are though. I do agree with Michael K in that there are certain dates that players get money if they're on the roster by due to their contract agreements. If a player's on a contract at a certain date, he's guaranteed that money. That's why sometimes they get cut right before that date and stuff like that. So there are stuff like that. Hmm. That's interesting. Nothing much, Lance. Just talking Dolphin, and then we got into the numbers and stuff like that. Still want to talk about what went wrong in the Dolphins season, where it went wrong. To me, it all started falling apart in the Tennessee game for whatever you want to blame in that game. Some people blame the Dolphins offense for lack of being able to do anything most of the game. Some people blame the defense for giving up the 2 touchdowns, and then he also gave up a pretty big return on special teams in that game. So to me, there's plenty of blame to go around in that game, but basically that cost us the division. The one team that we lost to that we should have beat all year, we beat up on the teams that we should have beat, and it came and bit us in the butt. The one time that we did not beat the team we should have beat. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. And then the one team we did beat, we beat the Dallas Cowboys. But then guess what? They're one and done in the playoffs. So how impressive is that win after all? And I was so happy because my neighbor over here is a Cowboys fan, and he loves to brag about his Cowboys. And it's so funny because he saw me before the Cowboys played their game, and the Dolphins had already lost. And he was saying, "Oh, how about your Dolphins?" You know, being real sarcastic. But I have not magically probably like making sure I'm not outside when he goes outside. I haven't seen him since his Cowboys lost. I'm gonna have to make up some reason to knock on his door. Oh, can I borrow some milk or something? And then, hey, Chet, how about your Cowboy? So, you know, who knows? I have to find him walking his dog this evening. So it's funny. Oh man. Hey, Dolphin Don. Yeah, no, the offense was number one by stats as far as yards, this and that. Number two overall scoring, only behind the Dallas Cowboys, and that was only by percentage points due to the last of the NFL season. The Cowboys scored a lot more points than we did against Buffalo, Mike. Okay. So that swung them to having more points overall. But we were up there all year, but there were empty stats at the end of the year. We came up empty again. And to me, this season was a failure, but entertaining throughout. It was a failure at the end because you always want to win at the end. So obviously it's a failure, and the Dolphins, Teron Armstead said it was a failure himself. Speaking of Teron Armstead, once again, he said he felt the season was a failure. And that's when he was asked about that. And he was saying, oh, I might. That's where I think he's just down. He wanted to win. He's been on winning teams that have done it all before. So he knows that feeling and knows the total feeling of not winning it all. And it stinks. So, all right, I'm going to drop the link. So we let if Michael K, if you don't want to come in, that's fine, but we can let hook up Joe explain in words what he means as opposed to like saying in comments, because it's a lot more. I would hear him a lot better than I read comments on what they're saying. So guys, that's the link. Yes, I believe once we lost Connor, McDaniel lost faith in the O line and play. I believe that too. To me, I think that is a big loss. To me, more so than some of our edge rushers. We got Michael K and hooked up Joe in the lobby. Give me 1 second, guys. Bring you in live. But you are right, guys, as far as that disappointment for sure on losing Connor. I think that may have been our biggest loss, because that to me was where Chris Greer failed, or whoever makes the roster decisions, not the guy that at least played center in the NFL or on some level, not since youth ball, having a center on the roster. That's where I'm in line of thinking. All right, guys, let me change my screen up here because I got a few of you guys in the room. Let me just put my 4-person overlay. Michael K, hooked up Joe, Anthony. And so I'm gonna start with Michael K and hooked up Joe. I guess Michael K. Okay, Michael K, what do you and hooked up Joe have a get your quick misunderstanding out of the way between contracts so we know what you're talking about?
Okay, all right. The first thing is, a contract is a promise that you're going to produce what you said you're going to produce, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Joe seems to think that there's no difference between retirement and getting cut. So let him explain that first.
Okay. All right, Joe. You're up. Oh, Joe, are you there? His screen just went blank. Hey, Lance, how are you? Wow, Joe.
What's up?
Now,
What's up, Lance? Make sure you scan the mirrors every 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, my eyes have been getting
can you hear me
bald.
now?
Yeah, we hear you, Joe. So explain
Oh,
what
okay. You can hear me? Okay,
yeah,
good.
so explain what do you think there's a
Okay.
difference between retirement and being cut, Joe?
No, he's got it backwards. You can go back to yesterday's chat on Miss Finn's show to verify everything I'm about to say.
We're not going back to the chat, Joe. Just talk about
No.
it.
What I'm saying is, if you are going to say, Mike, that what I'm saying is not what you said, then you can go. Then anybody that wants to in the chat can go to yesterday's Miss Finn show and read
Okay,
the
Joe.
actual chat. Okay. So,
Okay,
Mike, don't interrupt me for 3 minutes.
3
You got it,
minutes.
Joe.
Okay,
Go.
2 minutes. Okay. I need 2 minutes to explain this without you interrupted me. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I'm not calling you names, Mike. I never called you any names.
All right, just keep,
No,
just
don't
keep it to the
interrupt me.
numbers, Joe.
Don't interrupt
Joe,
me,
just
Mike.
keep it to the numbers. Because you're 2
Okay,
minutes.
so what we're going to do is we're going to keep this to the numbers on this chat. You're not going to call me a moron.
Okay, just get to
And
the
you're not
numbers,
going to
Joe.
call me a casual. Okay, you're not going to
Well, I'll
call
call you
people
casual.
names.
I
This
will
is
call you
about.
casual.
No, you're
All
not.
right,
This
guys,
is
come
not
on.
a
I'm gonna have to
name-calling
cut you both
session.
of you. Just
No.
just-
Okay, hold on.
Joe, just
Let
get
me.
to your point, Joe.
Okay. So what I said yesterday was that, and I wrote it in the chat earlier, and I have it here documented, is that if we cut Armstead, it's $24 million cap hit right now, which is his 3 years of $6 million. You see, can you see my screen? We have $6,300,000 right here as a prorated bonus. Do y'all see that on the screen?
Yeah.
I can't really know. It's hard to see
Okay.
it, but
So Armstead has a prorated bonus, and you go to over the cap if you want to follow along and can't see it. And if you look at the pre-June number, the number is 24 million. And what I'll do here is in the chat, because we've chatted quite a bit, I'm going to put in the exact statement that we're talking about on this show.
Oh my God.
So in comments, it is this. This was the comment that I said. That is the numbers as I see it on over the cap. Now, if you look here at, if you do a Google search on,
okay, come on.
prorated money, you will see that if you retire or if you get cut, the amount's exactly the same. So when you look at these cut pre-June and post-June numbers that you're looking at, those are when a player retires, it's similar to being cut. And the same rule about June 1st applies here too. For example, if a player we talked about earlier closed to retire instead of being cut, the money would be treated the same way as in being cut. So the first statement that I said is that if a player gets cut or if they retire, the amount of their cap hit that they get is going to be exactly the same, regardless of whether they get cut or whether they retire. And the June 1st stuff actually does apply. That is
Okay.
one that I was making. Okay.
All right, let me ask you this. If Armstead retires, well, look, let's start with this, Joe. What is the first league day of the NFL 2024? It's the 13th. I won't make you Google.
Okay. Are we done with this year's? Has he been paid out for every game in this year? Is his contract over? You're changing the subject. I'm not going to let you
No,
change.
because the Dolphins
we're going to
season
talk
is
about
over.
numbers here. If you
The
have an
Dolphins
actual
season-
number that you can show, that's a real.
I'm
difference.
gonna
Yeah.
show you.
Okay, I want
I'm
to see
gonna
that
show
number.
it.
You're
I'm not gonna show
interrupting
you.
me.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
I want to know what I haven't finished giving my numbers yet.
It doesn't matter because your numbers mean nothing. Let me ask you this. Yeah, it's not a number, Joe. It's a simple yes or no. If Armstead retires, does he get his guaranteed money for 2024?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So they're going to pay him $13.25 million to not play.
Okay, show me where he doesn't get that money.
Because he retired.
Okay, here.
It's guaranteed. He guaranteed his body for the 2024 season.
Okay,
Does that make
so
sense to you?
Okay, I'm clearing this up. I'm trying to clear up what we're talking about, Mike. Okay, my contention was, so what you're saying is that the $5 billion guaranteed. Here, we're finally getting to the crux of the cookie. That's what I wanted to do. The crux of the cookie between our argument is, then the only real difference is that you're saying that Armstead, if he retires, he's not going to get the $5 million. But if we cut him before the season's over, he is going to get that $5 million.
It isn't $5 million. First of all, his guaranteed is $13.25 million.
No, that's not. That's base salary. Look at the screen. What does it say for guaranteed
hold on, let me
salary?
bring up your screen again, Joe. I took your
What
screen
is
off.
go to over the cap and look at there is a guaranteed salary column. Why is there a guaranteed salary column? Because that is the amount that's guaranteed regardless. The base salary is the amount of money we're actually saving. And that's what I wrote in my summary, is that the amount we pay him out is his guaranteed salary plus 3 prorated bonuses. It has nothing to do with his 13,205,000. That 13 million, if we cut him or we retire, we don't pay him that. If we cut him before the next league year or he retires, we don't pay him the $5 million, or we do. It's going to be exactly the same. Am I incorrect in that, Mike?
Okay, now if you go to Sport Track, remaining 8.25 million of 2024 salary fully guarantees on the third day of 2024. He's guaranteed 8 million something, and 5 is 13 million. That's his guarantees.
That's if we don't cut him and he doesn't retire. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if we cut him or if he retires. We're not talking about if he's still on the team next year.
If they cut
before
him
next year, this is what we've been talking about the whole time, Mike, is if he gets cut or he gets retired, if that $5 million guaranteed is not paid, it's not going to paid even if he's retired. It's not going to be paid even if he's cut before next year. Am I incorrect?
If they cut him before the 16th of March, he gets paid nothing.
And if he retires before then, what does he get?
Nothing.
What is the difference between nothing and nothing?
It doesn't matter.
No. We're at the crux of the cookie, man. You said
if he retires, he still gets his guarantees.
No, I said he gets the same amount of money. We were talking about. Okay, let's go back to the conversation.
No, you said no. Because just earlier.
Stop interrupting.
You
can go back. No, you can go back to yesterday's
guaranteed. Hold on.
Well,
Joe.
I was saying if it's guaranteed either way. Okay.
Right.
So I'm corrected on that one. Okay, Mike. It's not guaranteed, but my point before I ever started this was we were talking about if he retires or if he gets cut, it doesn't make any difference because we were talking about the June 1st. So let's get to this point. This is where the whole thing started. We were talking about the June 1st deadline. And I was saying that even if he retires, then it's going to be treated like a June 1st designation because we're going to cut him after June 1st. We're going to designate him as a June 1st cut, or he can retire that way. It's treated the same way. And Mike's contention was, no, if he retires, he's not going to get money. And if we cut him, he is. I was only talking, Mike, I was only talking about being cut or being retired in this whole conversation. So don't bring up any money about if we kept him. This is between if he was cut and if he's retired, there's no money difference. And you're saying I'm wrong. Correct me.
Okay. No, you were talking about.
No, I said no. Go back and read the chat, Mike.
I'm correcting you. You were talking about salary cap. If he retires, it's 24 million against the cap. You said if he retires after June 1st or they cut him after June 1st. No, because if they don't cut him before the 16th, he gets paid his guaranteed money.
No, it's called a June 1st designation. If you look it up, there's a.
I looked it up. If they do not cut him before March 16th, the third day of the season, he gets his money. Because he was the one that said, my body's ready to take a beating for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, that's where you're wrong, Mike. Because and don't interrupt me yelling at me just because you're wrong, okay? Last year, we had Jones. Remember him? And this year, if you scroll down on the numbers here, you're going to see that Jones was a $10 million cap hit this year on our money. Okay. If you go to over the cap and you go down and you look at the numbers.
Well, I think what you guys are arguing is whether Armstead actually gets the money in his two accounts.
No, I'm not. Oh yeah. Between if he gets cut or if he gets, I was contending that there's no reason for Armstead.
Hey Rob, could I say something about this?
This is Anthony. Go in, Anthony, if you can read.
Yeah, no. We can use a perfect example of what you guys are talking about. That Tom Brady is a perfect example of what you guys are talking about because remember, Tom Brady, the Bucks are still owing Tom Brady money even after he retired. Like, his contract is still on their books, even though Tom Brady retired 2 years ago, right? Was it 2 or 3 years ago?
I don't want to.
This ain't Anthony. This ain't baseball.
But that wasn't my point. See, now we're changing the point away from what my point was.
All right, here let's do this
now,
point,
Mike,
Joe.
Mike,
Hold
let
on,
me
Joe.
explain
Hold
my
on. We're
point
gonna make
one
this simple.
minute,
We're
'cause
gonna
y'all are
make this.
changing what I said.
We're
and that's
gonna
not
make
what I
this
said.
simple.
Changing
We're
my
gonna make this, Joe. We're gonna make this simple. We're gonna use Deshaun Watson's because he's a $230 million.
Armstead's contract. That's what we're talking about. We're not going to talk about anybody else's contract. We're talking about.
Why you think Armstead's special? Do you think Armstead's special that he has his own special contract?
My contention.
Did you sit down and read Armstead's contract?
Are you going to interrupt me the whole time?
Why you were interrupting me? What's the difference? So let's talk Deshaun Watson.
You asked me. Okay, ask me a question.
Okay, Deshaun Watson. Do we agree that he has a $230 million
on Armstead's contract?
About Armstead's contract?
Yeah. That's
why is his so special? Why is his so special than the other 1,600 NFL players?
Because every contract is according to what year that contract is in. And our whole conversation is about Teron Armstead. And what I'm telling you is if we cut Teron Armstead and he retires, the money's exactly the same, regardless of which way it goes. And if it's not, then I want you to explain to me in Teron Armstead's contract what the dollar amount difference is to him, to us, or to him. If we cut him now, does he not get his prorated bonuses?
No.
Okay. If we cut him, does he not get his prorated bonuses?
Depends when you cut him.
Right. That's what I wrote in my thing. If you go back.
So what day is that? What day is that, Joe?
Here, I'm going to type in what I said again one more time in the chat.
So anyway, guys, let's not bore the rest of the audience.
Yeah, we can't bore everybody.
Hold on. All right. You know what? I'm going to read an excerpt right here. I'm going to read an excerpt right here from SB Nation. If Armstead is on the roster on March 16th, the third day of the 2024 league.
Mike, that's irrelevant. I never said anything about him being on the roster. This is whether he gets cut or whether he gets retired. You're changing.
Don't interrupt me, Joe. I'm reading an excerpt. If Armstead is on the roster March 16th, the third day of the 2024 league year, his full $13.25 million salary becomes guaranteed.
Did that happen to Jones last year?
It doesn't matter. You just said that Jones and Armstead's contracts weren't the same. You said Armstead's special.
No, I didn't. You put words in my mouth.
No, I didn't. Because I said, let's talk to Deshaun Watson.
Let's just go.
Okay.
We want to get some more.
Okay.
Love it, guys.
Can you let me end?
I got Lance and some other people in the room waiting to get there.
Let me land. So, my contention from the start was that it's exactly the same whether you retire or whether you get cut. That was my only contention.
What's the same, Joe?
End it there.
What's the same?
Michael, okay, let's just keep it short. I don't know if you guys are not obviously going to agree on this matter, and I don't know enough about
There's nothing to agree on. It's the fact if you get cut or you get retired, the hit is exactly the same. There's nothing to argue.
It's not. No, it's not, Joe.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Whatever's happened, happens.
Hold on. Hey, hold on one second.
I need one day for you, Scotty, Michael K, Scotty, and Hooked Up Joe. Scotty would be the mediator between you two because he knows more about the salary cap than I do, I'll be honest. Or Cal Krabs or someone like that studies this salary cap. All I go is the Sports Track or Over the Cap. That's all I have. If it's outside of that, I don't even know what to do.
It doesn't. I don't even care one way or another.
Well, Mike called me a moron and told me that I was running away.
I mean, really.
I understand, Joe.
At the end of the day,
I mean, Michael K.
I'm trying to get to the right answer, and he's calling people names.
I agree, Hooked Up Joe. That's why I let you, talk and Michael K. because you guys have a disagreement, and I don't think we've even settled it. So because you guys still don't. You're still
if you get cut or you retire, it's exactly the same.
It's not exactly the same.
Google it.
Are we talking about monopoly money here?
Joe, I'm reading the article. I just said right here. I just read the excerpt, Joe. If Armstead is on the roster March 16th, the third day of the league,
is not. You don't know what a June 1st designated cut is. You need to look that up. That's the end.
what is it, June? What's the first day of the season? What comes first, Joe? March or June?
Do you know what the word pre-designated means?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it mean?
How do you feel about players coming into the locker room after a game?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous.
I've let you guys go on. I'm going to have another show where we just have it salary cap talk.
Hey, you guys can.
I have all the numbers up. It's just let's do
exchange numbers. Real quick. Exchange numbers with each other, and you guys can argue with each
People
other.
in the chat can go look it up. If someone retires or if they get cut,
can we get off the subject?
Not. Go look it up. And I'm off the stream. I'll go back to chat, but I'm off stream.
Good. I'll deal with you in the chat, Joe.
Yes, do that, guys.
There you go.
Like I said, I don't want to bore the rest of
Mike off too.
I love you both, man. I mean, your Bills fandom, Michael K. I appreciate you coming in here. Hooked up, Joe. You guys can have your debate there, but let's talk more football stuff. So, because you guys are going to keep on agreeing to disagree, it sounds like. So, and yeah, guys, make sure if you get a chance, smash that like button for me and throw a laser pass at the subscribe button. But guys, like I said, Michael K and Joe, you can go all you want here in chat going at each other. But I got some other guys. I got Dolphin, Don, Dad, Dean, and Lance all waiting to talk. I don't even know which one of you came into the room first. I think it was
it's all good. Whoever.
All right. All right. How about the Dolphin Don? How are you doing, Dolphin Don?
Oh man, I'm licking my wounds just like everybody else. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say that as a Dolphins fan, I'm still going to root for Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, to play the Lions, because neither one of those teams has ever won it, and also Houston maybe.
I can live with you on the Lions part, but I remember if Michael.
I can't forgive the Bills.
Yeah, forget the Bills. Forget the Bills. That's what I would never say that.
That's a mixed.
Okay, next.
Well, no, that's a mixed proposition. Because what if they go and lose? What if they go and lose number 5?
Just keep licking your wounds, boys. Just keep licking your wounds.
That's it, man.
Fire starter.
I'm with Scotty at this point. I'm hoping Baltimore doesn't get upset by like anyone, and then because that would be tough.
I don't like Baltimore. I'll say it out here in public, man.
Oh, I don't like them either. But I like them. I hate Buffalo more. Or just I hate a strong word. I dislike Buffalo more.
Actually, I would like to see Detroit, mainly because of Dan Campbell.
I would like to see Detroit. I can live with Detroit, and I've actually predicted Detroit half kiddingly a Dolphins Detroit Super Bowl. Detroit's the only one living up to the expectations so far.
Yep.
So
yeah.
But yes, I would never cheer for the Bills. Timothy Washington said it perfectly. But
I was rooting for the Bills when Scott Norwood missed that one field goal, and I was in the Gulf War, man. I was listening to it on AFN radio. I was like, oh man. So what's good for the Bills is good for the AFC East. Since we're out of it. Hey,
yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Hey, Don, thanks for being logical, Don. Thanks for being logical, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like you would root for the Dolphins if things were reversed, Michael K.
Absolutely not.
I'm questioning
being illogical there, Michael.
His loyalty to Miami right now.
Yeah, I know. So,
all right, I changed my pick all of a sudden.
So
damn.
But anyway, Dad Dean, you've been the quiet one. How are you doing, Dad Dean?
I'm doing great. But I do have to say, I want Buffalo Bills to beat Kansas City.
Yep.
I want. I don't like Kansas City.
Prima donnas.
I just don't. I like to see somebody different in the Super Bowl this year. I like somebody like Detroit. I would like to see Detroit versus the Texans. Probably won't happen. But if I had to rank who I'd like in the AFC, I would put Texans number 1. That I would like to see. I'm not saying that they would go. Then I would go Buffalo, and then I would go Baltimore. Then I would go Chiefs.
I'm right there with you, man.
Well, you guys are nicer than me because Buffalo is one team I do. At this point, I'm just down to rooting against one team. So
Yeah, I mean,
Petty
I don't
watching.
know if
I'm good.
Off season with him as a Super Bowl champ, it'd be
Yeah, because we'll never hear the end of it.
No,
We
I
will never
I
hear
want
the
them-
end of it.
I
want
wouldn't
them to
rub
go
it
to
in that
Super
much.
Bowl and lose again.
We
Well,
would never hear
although-
the end of it.
Yeah,
Although I
never
agree.
hear me.
Have you guys? Has anybody ever heard me claim that we're going to the Super Bowl this year?
No, you haven't, but
No.
you're happy that you keep on winning and that you're advancing. So,
Well, of course, but I'll be honest with you. Until 4 o'clock today, I'm not optimistic about our chances against Kansas City.
yeah.
Yeah, I want-
You know, we took a
in
beating.
Kansas City, so
We took a beating against the Steelers.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's right.
You did a little bit, but hey, Lance, you're out there trucking around, so I know I want to get to you so you don't have to be unsafe too long. So, Lance, what's your takes overall end of this Miami Dolphins season? No, Lance.
Yeah, driver. Yeah, driver. What's your take, driver?
Really, it was good in the beginning, and as always, at the end,
Yeah, no, I know.
it goes down.
No, you're right, Lance.
So-
It's the same old story with the Dolphins, unfortunately.
Well, there's going to
And
be a lot
until
of
we start-
fresh faces next
Until
year.
we get rid of Greer,
Yeah.
just one guy, and don't get me wrong, Greer's done some great things, and he's done some horrible things. You know, and then you got Ross. But how much blame could you put on Ross too? Because he's been paying all these big players. Every time Greer wanted somebody bad enough, he paid for it.
No, he did. I mean, that's one thing. I know some
I mean-
people, Ross rubs people the wrong way, but he's never said no to reworking contracts. I mean, after paying him a big guarantee, then Ross like, well, we kind of messed this up, but can we rework his contract again, give him more guarantee, push that hand down the road? So Ross always willing to do that. Does he do some stupid stuff? Yeah, you know, but I was so stupid and became a billionaire. You know, he just does some dumb stuff sometimes, but we're not going to lose him. So our best hope is, you know, to lose something else.
I mean, I would like to see Greer, Greer go too, but you know, and after the locker room incident, I would fire freaking
What locker room incident
everybody.
are we talking about?
The Kansas City game where they let one player from Kansas City allowed into the Miami Dolphin locker room, and he was partying it up that they won inside the locker room.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a safety issue to me. I mean, that you're not going to let somebody in there.
Right?
Somebody's going to get hurt. Yeah.
I mean, because back in my days, somebody would have done that. That dude would have been pummelized.
Yeah.
And he would have been thrown in the garbage can.
And
then roll him off.
I did have to say one more thing real quick. Looking at Michael K's picture right there, injuries.
Oh.
Why can't Greer just get some healthy players? I mean, it's like
he's a riverboat gambler, man.
I mean, he likes the injured players.
Yeah, if you can get them a little cheaper.
But, I mean, we need some healthy players out there.
I know. I mean, you know, the injuries I don't like making excuses, but the injuries play a part. Yes. And unfortunately, they're just part of the game. And it did affect the team at the end. But
to a degree, I mean, our defense got injured, was a hell of a lot more injured than the offense.
No, I know.
And they still played good.
I know.
No, for sure. I mean, losing Connor Williams that center hurt. But yeah, on the playoff game, we had Waddle back, we had Moser back, and as Mike McDaniel eloquently put it, we couldn't get shit done. We can't, or however he worded it. So, you know, I normally don't drop the bad words in the morning telecast, but that's basically what he said, because we couldn't do anything. They had our number. We made no adjustments. Tua was off, and let's just face it, Tua was off
again.
He was throwing high, and it's just
low.
You know, yeah, no, I know it was frustrating all around. You know, it was just an ugly game.
But is it surprising?
No,
I mean, he does it every year.
I know, But then every single player's before him. Why can't we just get it right eventually? You know?
Yeah.
So it's horrible. This is the same movie over and over.
You know, and
but
everybody
at the end,
praises.
we keep on buying into it because if we went to a restaurant once and it sucked, maybe you go back a second time and say, "Oh, maybe they just had a bad." But if it sucks again at the second time, you're never going back to the same restaurant. But the Dolphins, we keep on coming back, believing, and it's the same sucky performance at the end of the year every year. And it's just, but why do we do it? Because it's fandom. It's not like a normal business, and that's why we come back to them no matter what.
The other hypocritical thing I can't stand, everybody's praising our quarterback of how many yards he threw this year. And past 2 years, there's another quarterback that kept up with Tom Brady and probably would have beaten Brady if Brady didn't go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's Herbert.
Even in the Marino years, we had our ups and downs too, though. I just remember.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
But at least we won some playoff games and stuff happens and we didn't win the Super Bowl, which was unfortunate. But at least you felt like you had a fighter's chance every time, man.
Yeah, with them.
The past couple of years going to the playoffs, we
year.
go limping into the playoffs, and we don't have a fighter's chance.
See, and not being as big a Marino fan as I am, I don't know if Marino would do it nowadays, only because it's the running. You need a dual threat quarterback nowadays to go to the playoffs.
The voice of logic. Thank you. I mean, there's so many people that look back with, "Oh, Flores was such a great coach. He was a Hall of Famer," and they don't look at the bad stuff. The pock marks. You can look back, even definitely Gase. You can look all the way back through history, and even with the Marino years, we didn't have a running game, or we didn't have a good defense. We had all these problems, but everybody wants to rose color it whenever there's bad problems now.
Well, the remaining quarterbacks are C.J. Stroud, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, and then Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And it's just right there. I mean, and I only left your Bills for last because that's how it is. The screen I'm looking. They're the last game that plays next week. Yes.
Well, believe it or not, Stroud was the only quarterback that missed time this year.
Yeah, and he's a rookie though, guys, and he has a playoff win under his belt. That's what's painful. And we'll see though, but that's like tough on the Dolphin fandom when you see a rookie quarterback. Yes, they were in a division that was a little easier to get into a home playoff game than our division. But Buffalo, that whole division, the Jaguars tanked at the end of the year for whatever reason. They just fell apart. So they won their division and they got a home game. So it's just yes, sometimes luck helps, but it just stinks seeing a rookie quarterback go get a playoff victory while we're still waiting. I had a kid be born, go all the way. Now he's in his third year of college already, and we still haven't won a playoff game in his life. That's inexcusable to me. So it's I don't know. But yet here I am rocking the Dolphins as always. So that's why suckers like me and all you guys is why they always are going to be around, because we keep on coming back no matter what.
And we're here in the off season.
Yep, talking about them.
The real ones are here in the off season. We didn't jump ship on the last game and say see ya. We're pretty much here all off season talking about it.
Yeah, no, that's it, man. And there's so many wrongs on the Dolphins that it's going to be, for a good team, there's a lot of issues going into the offseason. I wish it was just one, because if it was only Tua, it'd be easy. But to me, it's more than Tua's whole philosophy, whole bunch of stuff. And like you said, on the offensive line, and so many issues. And it's just, but hey, it's they still got an overall decent roster. They can perform well and compete next year, but they definitely got a lot of work to do this offseason, guys.
The only saving grace with Tua right now is that he could, not count so high against the salary cap for us and become like a Jim Plunkett type QB. I mean, because he's not mobile at all.
Yeah, but he's going to want his money. I don't see him giving any discount. And then if he plays under the 5th-year option, he's going to make $23 million next year. So,
who's going to pay him?
That's guaranteed with a $23 million cap hit. The only way you can get out of that is sign him. But what is his worth? Is he worth $50 million a year? I don't think so.
No. 30 tops. I'm going 25 actually.
Is he even worth that? And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just saying, is he even worth that? He can't win a big game.
Yeah. And he's not mobile.
But he also has the same agent that got Watson his huge contract. And if you don't think that's a factor, it is a factor. You know.
Well, good. I mean? Somebody else can pay him. That's how I feel.
Yeah, what does an agent have to do
about? I mean, there's no way with his agent we're getting $25 million. I mean, just the reality of the situation. His agent is not going. He's not going $35 million. I mean, we might lose Tua, but I'm just telling you, Tua is not going to be a cheap quarterback. He has the wrong agent to be a cheap quarterback. That's my only comment.
Scotty's saying $40 million, and someone saying up there. So that's a lot of money, man.
I'm not paying him that.
You better know he's the guy. So he says,
you offer him a 2-year. You offer him a 2-year deal, and prove it now. Because now you got 3 years, you can blast that salary cap down, but you're only going to make $20 million. You know what? Do that, and then after the 3rd year, we'll give you money if you can prove that you can win under the lights or win in a big game. Because right now he didn't even, and you can't say I'm wrong when I say that even Dallas wasn't a good team that you beat. So technically, the Dolphins didn't beat any good teams this year.
If we don't extend him for 2 years, we're going to have a hard time pushing a bunch of cap space down because you need to spread that across multiple years. So it's kind of an either-or thing there. And if we were going to do that, we'd probably go make him play.
I only say booty cheeks just because I get to say booty cheeks. But booty cheeks says Daniel Jones got $40 million a year. There is no way Tua takes less. Players don't allow the market to go backwards.
I bet you they would take that money back if they could right now.
Yeah, I know the Giants. You could go the other way, saying maybe the Dolphins don't want to do what the Giants did. You can take that angle.
All right, so what if the Dolphins offer him $23 million a year for the next 3 years? So that's what, 46, 69 million for 3 years.
I could go for that.
His agent won't though.
His agent ain't playing. You know what? I'm a car salesman. I know my Porsche is worth $10,000. Do you think somebody's going to give me 20 for it?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Hey, we got a familiar voice, Shake Money in the house. Shake,
what's up, Shake?
Nice.
What's going on, Shake?
Yeah. I mean, the agent is going to want more money, but at the end of the day, wish in one hand and poop in the other, see what feels faster. Chris Greer ain't going to go for that. So, yeah, he's going to go somewhere else.
50.
Exactly, Shake. And here's the thing. I mean, okay, we're talking about proof of work. You know, you could bring this up on the negotiation table. Hey, so quarterbacks like Dan Marino, play comes in and it's a crap play. You call something at the line and get that first down. Or Josh Allen, let's go ahead and say, bring up the ugly truth in the room.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Tua's not pulling that off. I didn't see it.
Don't say that with Michael K in here.
That brings the price down, though. That's what I'm saying.
Use Lamar Jackson as your example.
Okay, Lamar Jackson.
So
anybody but Buffalo. How about that?
There you go. But Shake Money, a rare treat to get you in the house. What's your overall? I haven't even heard much of it. I have to get into your lounge here in the next few days. But what's your overall take of the ending of the year, Shake?
I mean, maybe team figured us out. And you can't blame on defense injuries because, you're only missing 2 players on offense, and like you said, we need if the play ain't working. I think that was the difference between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. McVay runs a complicated offense, and maybe Jared Goff didn't know how to maneuver it properly. So that's why he got Matthew Stafford, and that was the difference between the 2 quarterbacks. Now you have in Detroit a better, an offense that suits, Jared Goff a little bit better. But I think, the offense, once you take out Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, this offense it's on a treadmill. So
Yeah. So before we got another Bills fan invading the room, but real quick, Shake, what's your overall thoughts on Tua moving forward? Just throw out the money. Don't worry about the money, but just as him being the guy.
no, I say let him play on his 5th year option. If you find a good quarterback in the draft, I say do that, go that route as well. So like I said, I haven't jumped off the tour yet, but at the end of the day, you gave him his 5th year, let him play off his 5th year, and if nothing changes next year, we already know it's going to be him and not McDaniels. McDaniels needs to just come up with better number one, more options instead of coming up with more receivers. Sorry, we need more offensive linemen because at the end of the day, we don't really throw that much. He doesn't spread the ball around, so he needs better protection. And number two, he needs to tell Tua if you audible, work on his audibles and his post snap. That's what I would say about Tua. But I think he needs to play out his 5th year. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, at least we'll have the offensive lineman for the next quarterback.
See, I wanted bigger. We need bigger receivers.
Yeah, that would help.
We need a receiver.
Hey,
We need
real
to-
quick.
Robbie Getson type. Yeah.
Hey, hold on, Dad Dean. We got a new guy in the room, Mark from Bills Mafia. We got 2 Bills guys. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, how you doing? Great show. First time I've had a chance to pop onto your show. I got some thoughts I think that'll help the team, and I actually agree with the need for a big receiver. I think next season is going to be really tough for you. I'm going to be very honest with you. It's not coming from a Bills bias. I'm talking from from an NFL standpoint. Right now, you have 37 players signed. You're 41 million over the cap. There's a very distinct possibility that you're going to lose Wilkins, Hunt, Williams, and obviously Van Ginkel is going to get less, but he's injured anyway. You're going to have Chubb and Phillips not back until probably week 9, and going from the Von Miller history, you're probably not going to get them at full strength until 2025. You've got so you've got to spend money. You're going to lose significant players. You may lose Armstead. We've had that discussion way too long this morning. And you're drafting 21st, and you're still losing 2 picks this year because of the tampering thing and the Hill trade. If I was the Dolphins, what I would do is I would try to trade Tyreek Hill and sign T. Higgins instead.
Okay,
Hold on, Mark. What's Hill's dead cap?
Well, he's on to his 3rd year now onto that contract that was signed. So the dead cap money could be prohibitive. It probably is prohibitive, to be honest with you. That he's probably not tradable. Howard's not tradable. Howard's not even cuttable because of the dead cap. I mean, you'll take half the hit this year, half the hit next year. So there are serious money problems with the Dolphins. You still have to sign players. You're going to lose 4. You're going to lose 40% of your starting offensive line. They'll get Wynn back next year. Again, how long he's going to last, history says we don't know. But what I would do is, and now remember, there is a good side to losing players. And these are quality players that you're going to lose. You're probably going to get 2/3 and 2/4 compensatorily for the next draft.
Right, build for.
So you sign Tua, you let Tua play on his 5th year option. If things don't work out well this year, and to be honest with you, I don't think they are. I think it's going to work out really well for New England because they got a ton of money, and they have the 3rd pick in the draft, plus all the other picks. I think you probably finish last. There's a distinct possibility this team finishes last next year. New England's going to be better. The Jets are going to be better. So what you do is, at the end of the season, which I think is going to be kind of maybe a 7-win season at tops, you take your compensatory picks, you fire McDaniel, you get rid of Tua, you move on from Tua, you get rid of Greer. I think you should have got rid of Greer before 9 years ago, but I think he's ruined your franchise. Completely torn it to pieces with terrible drafts, poor coaching hires, poor player development, which is a byproduct of bad coaching hires.
Yeah.
and
Believe me, Mark, I know.
overspending in free agency to make up for bad draft choices that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
clean house completely, start anew, start rebuilding your franchise in 2025.
All right. Hey, sorry, Bills fan. I'm gonna let Dad Dean get here. Dad Dean, give some Dolphin love.
I was agreeing with Mark up to the point where he's saying that we're going to be last in the division next year. Yes, I think.
Tell me who you're going to be better than.
Okay. I only got a few minutes here, so I have to get back to work here at Legoland. But
Hey, I got to bounce. Thanks, guys. I got a call.
Okay. Later, Michael.
All right, buddy.
But anyways, I think that the 5th-year option is the way we should do it with Tua, just like how we did with Christian Wilkins, and let him play out his 5th-year option. Give him a contract offer, but make it low for they don't accept it. He plays on the 5th-year option, and let him prove himself. If he proves himself, then we'll give him the contract.
What does he have to do to prove himself? Because he did lead the league. That's the problem. That's where we're kind of in purgatory, because he led the league in passing.
Win the big game.
Yeah.
Win the game.
Yeah.
Win the big
Yeah.
game.
Beat somebody.
Yeah, but
Beat
the
somebody
thing about
relevant.
it is, the thing about the stat yards is it was inflated in 3 games, in like 4 games. All those yards came in 4 games.
Exactly.
The majority of those yards came in 4 games.
I agree 100%.
I mean,
Shake money.
Lead.
And
Herbert led the league for 2-3 years.
Yeah, lead from the front on the field, not from the rear. Like, okay, well, that's a bad play call, and he just kind of trots off and smiles.
almost there. I was
Come on.
almost there with Tua, up to the Baltimore game. That just crushed me. It crushed me. It hurt. I want Tua. I want Tua to do this. He has the skills to do it. I just don't think he has the eye of the tiger. I don't know. There's something missing.
Look, Dak Prescott threw for a bunch of yards. Jameis Winston threw for, I know he threw for 30 interceptions, but he threw for 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
Tua doesn't pass that eye test for the upper echelon, the playoffs and stuff. We need, because we're dying here. I mean,
personally, I'd like to see
without a playoff win. That's got to stop.
I'd rather see Tua, do the bad parts in the beginning of the season and come out strong at the end.
At the end is when it matters.
It's where it matters.
That's when it counts.
No, well said. Hey, I just looked at the time. We're almost out of time here, but
I
normally just keep it to an hour. But I appreciate all you guys coming in. We all admit, the Bills fan in the room, we all admit that the Dolphins have a little bit of work to do, but I don't think we're as bad as what the Bills fan made us be out. We can fix some things up and get better and improve. There's a lot of talent that we can get out of our roster, and there is some hope. I know it's tough right now because it's been since 2000 since we won a playoff game, so it's hard to see the light in the long tunnel ahead of us in this off season. But there are things you can do to shore up the team. Draft well, keep that first round pick for sure. Do not trade it away for a veteran player that already has the big money. Keep that first round pick and make it count. They're picking 21st. They got to make it count. Yes, a lot of talent will come off the board before then, but there should be a lot of talent still on the board. So there is, and we will all disagree. Some people say offensive line. Some people say we may need an edge guy because all our edge guys are beat up. Some guys are saying we need linebackers. So we need a lot, but it's going to be interesting off season. Shake money in our kind of show to be talking about the draft until our ears fall off. So,
we need another good quarterback.
Yeah, I know, but it's hard to get those quarterbacks, man. They don't grow on trees, and that's why I think Dolphin fans are somewhat happy with Tua because he's like the best we've had for a while, but is that good enough? He's one of the best since, he's up there. Is he any better than Ryan Tannehill at this point? Is what we have to ask.
He's like a 2.0 Tannehill, or actually Fiedler.
Right, and we gave Tannehill the big second contract, and we may be, and salaries keep on going up, so it's going to be a bigger contract than. So we may very well pay Tua.
Yeah, learn from your mistakes, though.
Hey, but listen though, Lance. Like I said Monday night on Crypto Show on the Finn Tailgate.
Who's Crypto?
Being the best crypto is Crypto Dolfans. Yeah.
I know.
Anyway,
He's in the bathtub.
Yes. No. Anyway, as I said on his show, being the best quarterback since Marino is like being the hottest chick in the nursing home. It don't mean much.
Right. The one with with no teeth.
Hey, fins up, Ed. I know some of us are crazy, but hey, it's all in fun, Ed, and thank you for finding the show. Hit that thumbs up. Even for our illiterate ones, thank you, Ed. We love you coming in here. So awesome. So,
and
but
by the way,
anyway,
if you're not doing anything at 7 o'clock, hit me up. I'll send you the link, man, for Smoke Lounge if you want to.
What time are you coming on?
7 o'clock on TFC.
7?
Yes, sir.
7.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
listening from work, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be listening too.
Usually you guys come on not till later, and I'm in bed.
Yeah.
Where are you on the road right now, Lance?
South Tennessee on 65.
Okay. Where are you heading to?
Alabama.
All
I was
right.
hoping to hit some more warm weather, but that ain't happening.
Well, be safe out there as you do.
Yeah, be safe, man.
You got America's work behind you, man. You're helping out us getting all the products we love. What are you delivering today?
I wish truckers got paid what they're worth.
Hey, what's your load today?
I'm not allowed to say that stuff.
All right, that's fine. So I understand, but do you work on your own or you work for a big company?
I'm independent with a big company.
Okay. So, well, be safe out there, man.
Yeah, be safe, man. Listen, I wanted to be a truck driver, but you ever see those trucking accidents? You're like, how the heck that happened? That would have been me if I was a truck driver. So.
I know, me too. Me too, man.
Well, I've been doing this for 22 plus years.
Yeah. That's a long time.
This is like the worst. This is pretty much the worst pay I've seen since I've been driving.
Oh, I thought it was more pay lately. I see it seems like everyone's hiring. Every time I see a truck drive by me, they're saying, I'm hiring.
Oh, yeah. There's this big. See, I do dry van. So the pay is a little less than like per se reefer or
okay.
Intermodal.
Yeah.
And intermodal is behind. So yeah.
All right. Well,
But that's the whole thing. I can't get. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but
yeah, no, but
there's a lot to it.
I just figured you guys were making decent money because we need you guys out there. So.
Nah.
All right, Lance and guys. Hey, so 7 p.m. guys, Finn's Tailgate tonight. Make sure you check them out. They always are very entertaining, to say the least. So we will see. And guys, big fins up to all of you. Thank you for the ones that joined the show, and all of you guys in comments. Make sure you all nail that like button, as Miss Finn says on the way out, and it will help the show, and it's free for you guys. Thank you, guys. Well, I guess we can't say Finn, but we can, because I don't make any money and I can't get sued. I can't say I can say fins up, guys.
Up.
So I got half a fin.
Yeah,
I kind of got a half a fin going.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see what their future term is. But anyway, hey, it's all good, man. Thanks, guys. And Lance, be safe out there. Duff and Don, thank you.
Thanks back, man. Fins up, y'all.
Fins up.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won.